What you pay attention to becomes your life. This sums up the whole video in one sentence. Everyone's attention span has constantly been getting lower. And the simple answer to it is because, well, what people watch these days is what they know causes them to have reduced investment in what they do. But the answer isn't that simple, and I'm going to go over a few points as to why people's attention spans has been going downhill. Also how this has shaped our everyday lives. First point I want to make is the fact that most big companies are always fighting for your attention. YouTube, TikTok, Netflix, Instagram, games, like gaming companies, and the news are constantly fighting for your attention. They will want you to watch or play what they are advertising. And of course the reason they're doing that is because billions of dollars are spent figuring out how to keep people engaged. However, you can defeat this by not paying attention to all these distractions. You try to invest attention into one of these if they will provide you eventual value, not any of them for just a quick dopamine hit. Speaking of which, most people watch these things because of dopamine, and they like getting new information, seeing new faces, new opinions, and maybe even new jokes. This is why scrolling is so popular, because they get a quick dopamine hit because they're bored and they get a tiny reward and they repeat it again and again. And like I have explained in my many other videos, make sure to subscribe. I have posted many videos that you might find interesting if you find this one interesting so far, which explains a lot of the concepts I'm mentioning here. And thank you for that. A lot of people believe scrolling gives them information because they see a 30-second video and believe they know something now, and of course that is definitely not true. And besides just that, everyone that you find on the reels or the shorts, those people that are making videos are trying to grab your attention with whatever they can. They don't care if the information they're giving you is true or false, they just want you to watch the entire thing. Another big reason why attention span has reduced is because convenience has changed everything. We used to know what boredom was like and what waiting was like. Patience was a very key thing, and unfortunately people do not have patience these days. People get instant videos, instant music, instant food, instant answers, and we've become accustomed to immediate solution. So this means our patience is no longer existent. But another thing I want to point out is that in gaming, a lot of games now just explain everything to you right at the beginning, and they don't even have a book for you to read it or text. They just say it to you so that you can actually have it quickly in your brain and you don't have to think about it later. Video games used to be a lot harder, and they used to have things that you needed to explore and find answers. Now they're just given to you, and there's no real complex puzzles or anything like that, because of course people have become dumber with this as well. Speaking of which, books have become harder to read because nobody wants to sit down and read a story. I mean, look at movies, how they are going. People don't watch movies even. They prefer to watch series, because series, they have episodes, and the episodes tend to be shorter than what a movie would be, and so people can kind of watch that. And even then, a lot of people, when they're watching something, they usually got their phone right next to them. They're side watching. They're on their phone, and they occasionally look up at the screen just to glance at the movie or the series for a few seconds and then look back at their phone. So they think that they watched the movie. And then most people, when they think they missed something, they actually go rewind and rewatch. Because that's how we've come to this. Attention span has caused us to no longer be able to even watch a movie. And that is getting me right to the next point, which is multitasking is mostly a myth. People think they're achieving something by doing multiple things at the same time, like watching YouTube and checking something else and doing something else and doing something else as well. And that doesn't mean anything. I mean, most of these things I just mentioned, like Discord and YouTube and texting, those don't really count for productivity because you're not gaining anything that is meaningful. Besides, seriously, what do these all have to do with productivity? I mean, checking Discord. Okay, what are you gaining from that? Information. Alright, watching YouTube. Same thing. Texting. You're talking to someone. Let's say you're working as well. Well, okay, I mean, you're not really gaining anything. This isn't productive. Productive is creating something. You're not really creating. You're just doing stuff on automation. And most of the time, you're actually not even doing them effectively because you're distracted by everything else. Another key thing I want to mention is that boredom is important. I did kind of hint at this earlier. Boredom is not something bad, because boredom inspires creativity, reflection, and new ideas. Some of your best thoughts happen when nothing is happening. And these moments do count, because sitting alone in your room wondering, what should I do, will give you something to do eventually. And that something gives you motivation, and you actually go and do it, and it might actually be good for you, productive. But people don't get bored. Instead of sitting there in their room thinking, what should I do? They just grab their phone and start scrolling or something else. People also believe that their attention span is low because the problem is technology. And it was never technology, because I remember back in the day, I never really got distracted by something technological like a computer or television. No, it's nowadays how people consume things. Now, I do want to talk about attention span and solutions for it. I truly believe that the number one thing that has caused people's attention span to reduce significantly is scrolling on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, or Instagram Reels. This is like easily the number one, and you know, and I know it, and everyone knows it. Get off, do not scroll, do not go on any of these social medias, and just don't go on them for a day. Don't look at any of these things. Do something else instead. Actually, playing a game is not too bad. As long as the game is not a short game, it's a long story game. Try a long story game. Don't play something like League, which the match lasts for like 30 minutes. No, go and play a story game. I bet you're going to find it difficult to play it as well, because your attention span is reduced. In fact, I would suggest that you don't use your phone for a day or two at all, like nothing. I bet there are a lot of guys, I will say guys specifically, that can go without their phone for a couple of days easily. I mean, I personally do this very frequently, every day. In fact, I only spend my time on my phone if I am calling someone. Yes, literally just calling, not even texting. I have to call someone to be on my phone. I think this would be a lot harder for girls because they just, I don't know, dude. They text like random guys non-stop on their phone, and that's all I've seen them ever do. Try also to watch something fully or do something fully without getting distracted. Watching a book could be... Did I just say watching a book? Reading a book could be a good way to improve your attention span. Going for a walk and just observing your surroundings could also be a very good idea. I'd like to say specifically, notice the people that look at their phones non-stop. Just watch them and think about you could be in that position. Instead, you're not. You're outside the box. You're outside the system, and you're looking, observing at what others are doing. And that gives you perspective. That truly is enlightening, because you realize that if you wouldn't listen to this video, for example, you would be in that same position. I think another thing that's great for attention span is cooking. I don't know if any of you can cook, but if you can, try it. Do it. Cooking is actually really good. And actually pay attention to what you're cooking. Don't just shove something in the oven and say, yeah, I'm cooking. No. Make a good dish. You'd be surprised how good that is at improving your attention span. Because you need to make something taste nice. So you pay attention to the ingredients, put them in at the right time, put the different spices, cook it at the correct temperature, change the temperature from time to time, and then serve, obviously. What is shocking to me is that people are fine with going to work for 8 hours and say, well, that's productive, but they can't get off their phones and have like quick bursts of energy, and that's their entire life. Like, how do these two things make sense? If you can be going to work for 8 hours, you can definitely not be on your phone scrolling. And if you're on your phone scrolling because of work and you're bored, well, guess what, my friend? Change jobs. If you genuinely liked what you were doing, what work you had, what job you had, you wouldn't be on your phone. You'd be doing what tasks you have for that job. But you obviously don't enjoy it. So I suggest, if you aren't enjoying it, if you aren't seeing a purpose, a goal in the end with this job, quit. It's not a bad idea. Look for something better, or at least find something, get the job, then quit. I'll even give you strategic advice. There you go. Last thing I want to mention is about technology again. The way the phones have been designed since the beginning of where mobile phones were a thing to now, you can see how the screen has become wider and bigger. And this is obviously to trap you into it, to make sure that you cannot get off of it. Phones used to have buttons on them, by the way, and those were literally only for calling. But now it's more than that. It's a distraction machine. It is something that, to a lot of people, it's their worst enemy, except it's not an enemy, it tries to be their friend. And the worst thing in this world is a friend that's an enemy. I want to bring up video games one last time, because back in the day, most video games were storytelling type of games, and storytelling video games are actually good for your attention span. I suggest you play one or two. the video games that we currently have are short bursts because there's quick matches and it's usually up against another person. There is no true depth and attention span. You can actually take a break in between. But here's the thing. In the actual video game itself, you can actually just pause, unlike online games. In the end, the question isn't whether technology is making us distracted. The question is whether we're willing to fight for our attention, because in a world where everyone wants a piece of your focus, the ability to choose what deserves, it may become one of the most important skills you've ever developed. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you might go on a journey to improve your attention. Please consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll see you in another video, chads. Have a good one.